In this Looker Studio template, we show FBA inventory data is actually taken as a snapshot each day and stored historically, which is not available in the API. So this is actually a MixShift special where we can track the FBA statuses of inventory day over day. So what this template seeks to do is show based on a dynamic date range of days selected. So if you want to look at the last 30 days or 14 days or 28 days, for example, you can use that as your pacing for the inventory requirement. As you're coming in and out of seasonality, obviously pacing changes. We also actually include the 90 days from today's date forward from last year. So you can look at what the demand was last year looking forward. So you could actually look, if it's March 25th today, you could look at April from 2024 to see what that requirement is. You could potentially provide a growth multiplier on that data as well. That would be a customization, but there's a lot of different ways to look at this. The primary thing here is that you can set a custom date range over the last 90 days or the 90 days last year looking forward from today. In order to calculate the pacing or the run rate of your units sold per day. Once you have your units sold per day, this allows us then to calculate the days to out of stock based on what is on hand. And on hand, we use what's shown in Seller Central or Vendor Central. Well, Seller Central in this case for available. This will match the number in the console, though we do back out the pending orders and unfulfillable inventory to show you an actual available number to give you a better sense for the true pacing. This is actually the fulfillable quantity you would see in Seller Central as well as the inbound quantity too. We also have the reserved and researching. Those are not included here, but they are included in within the total quantity value by default as part of the numbers provided by Amazon. So once we have the total quantity, we look at that pacing, calculate the days to out of stock, and conditionally format this to show you where you're getting close to less than, in this case, we use 42 days or 7 weeks. And then you also have a dynamic lead time, which allows us to have a buffer for the amount of time the inventory is going to take to get to Amazon. So you can actually set this as a custom label on the ASIN basis within MixShift. This allows obviously for dynamic lead times and replenishment periods. If you have some items that take a little bit longer than others, we're actually depleting over that lead time. So that's being taken into account when we calculate these two columns, which are the 60-day and 90-day replenishment quantity with lead time. And all this means is this is the number that you should send in today in order to have 60 days of inventory on hand or 90 days of inventory on hand based on the current pacing. So this is what we call the dynamic date range sales and inventory replenishment analysis. It's quite useful to get a recent sales period, check the pacing, see what you have on hand, and then quickly calculate the amount needed to send in order to have 60 or 90 days on hand. We hope you love it. Thank you.